Second. We could, any questions that we can catch up.
Yeah, and the other thing, with the 8%, do we have to do that, especially in kind of COVID when people are losing their jobs? Can we charge them a lower rate for these?
That's the lowest.
Are you off?
The state
Are
statute.
you off?
It's the lowest. And yeah, you know how bad it is? If I say, no, I'm not going to charge that to the entire town, no matter who pays me and when they pay me, the entire class, I can't charge interest.
We good? Everyone, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Sunshine notice, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Board of Commissioners, public meeting Tuesday, January 5th, 2020. The time is now 7:05. Pursuant to the requirements of the Open Public Meeting Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, notice of this meeting was published in December 2nd, 2020 issues of the Nutley Sun, Herald News, Star Ledger, and Tap into Nutley. A copy of this notice has been posted on the Nutley Town Hall Bulletin Board, and a copy is on file in the Municipal Clerk's office. Due to multiple executive orders declared by Governor Murphy and in an effort to prevent further spread of COVID-19 pandemic, all public meetings for the year 2021 will be held remotely via Zoom or teleconference. The public will be able to listen to the Board of Commissioners meeting and participate during designated public comment portion of the meeting by utilizing access through a URL link or dial-in number provided by the township website. Commissioner Kelly.
Present.
Commissioner Evans.
Here.
Commissioner Petracco.
Here.
Commissioner Scarpelli.
Here.
Mayor Tucci.
Here.
All present, Mayor.
Thank you. I see we have minutes for December 1st, 2020 and December 15th, 2020.
Move it.
Second.
Commissioner Kelly.
Aye as to December 1st, abstain as to December 15th.
Commissioner Evans.
Aye. Aye. Aye.
Commissioner Petracco.
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli.
Aye.
Mayor Tucci.
Aye. Thank you. I see we have no communications or correspondence this evening. We have no proclamations and/or reports, so we'll move right into bills.
Thank you, Mayor. Bill list for January 5th, 2021 by department totals. Public Affairs, $81,000. Revenue and Finance, $2,810,312.30. Public Safety, $1,456. Public Works, $0. Parks and Public Property, $525,095.70. Water Utility, $331,146.38. Payroll as of this Thursday, December 24th, 2020. Regular payroll total, $851,873.94. Overtime payroll total, $57,498.70. COVID-19 overtime payroll total, $18,788.48. Total payroll, $928,161.12, for a grand total of $4,677,171.50.
Move the bills.
Second.
Commissioner Kelly.
Aye.
Commissioner Evans.
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco.
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli.
Aye.
Mayor Tucci.
Aye.
And that's it for bills, Mayor.
Thank you so much. We will now entertain public comment on agenda items only.
All persons addressing the Board of Commissioners regarding community concerns should state their name and address for the record. Unless further time is granted by the board, each person shall limit their address to 3 minutes. All remarks to the board and its individual members must be addressed to the mayor. The mayor may defer citizens' comments to the appropriate member of the board.
We have no
There's
one?
no one, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. We will move on to Board of Commissioner announcements. Commissioner Scarpelli?
I don't have anything tonight, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Petracco?
Yes, Mayor, like we discussed before about the passing of Louis Menachini, I just like to give the family my condolences along with the board. He's a dear friend of the Petracco family, helped many of us out, including my younger brother. Many years ago, he was a crossing guard in our department for a while. Just a great family and a true gentleman. And the only other sad news I have is the passing of the retired Chief McNiff from Bloomfield, which I just want to say what a gentleman he is and his family, and what a send-off they sent him with in Bloomfield. So my condolences to his family as well.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Evans?
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Commissioner Kelly?
Nothing as well.
Yeah, I would like to echo Commissioner Petracco's comments on the passing of those who were close to him, affectionately called him Uncle Louis, all right, and Chief McNish, who I worked with when I was the administrator in Bloomfield. And we also had Rudolph Valentino Bini pass away at 94, not from COVID, all right, had a good life. And Tony Intile's dad also passed away, a previous member of our police department, and I'm sure there are others. So I'd just like to remind everyone, please wear your masks, wash your hands, socially distance, follow the recommendations of the CDC. We're heavily into round 2 here. The new strain allegedly is a lot more contagious, but not as deadly. But we see that folks are still passing away. So we all need to be careful and double our efforts to make sure everyone stays safe and healthy. And just once again, I'd like to wish everyone a very happy, healthy, and prosperous New Year. Okay, moving right along, we have no ordinances on introduction or for second reading, so we'll move into resolutions. Commissioner Kelly?
Thank you, Mayor. I have one resolution tonight, and it's just not from me. It's on behalf of all of the Board of Commissioners here. It's in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. So whereas the late Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a leader of great courage and skill who became known as a drum major of the American Civil Rights Movement to enfranchise Black citizens. And whereas Dr. King's life was tragically cut short by an assassin's bullet in April of 1968 in Memphis, Tennessee, while he was there to champion the cause of underprivileged workers. Whereas due to the efforts of many dedicated people who believe Dr. King deserves national recognition, the third Monday in January is nationally recognized as a day to remember Dr. King, his legacy, and the causes for which he so gallantly fought and died. Whereas Dr. King's life will always shine as a light for those without hope and as an example to be emulated by all who care about their fellow human beings, regardless of race, religion, class, or nationality. And now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Nutley, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, recognizes and celebrates Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Kelly.
Aye.
Commissioner Evans.
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco.
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli.
Aye.
Mayor Tucci.
Aye. Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Evans?
Thank you, Mayor. Be resolved that Resolution 316-20 contained an error which requires it to be rescinded. The error was in its account code. Be it further resolved that the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Nutley, that this is in place of that resolution, this resolution is to be adopted. Be it further resolved that in accordance with the provisions of RS 48:4-59, the following transfers of 2019 appropriation reserves being the same are hereby authorized and approved. From group insurance to capital improvement fund, $500,000. So move.
Second.
Commissioner Kelly.
Aye.
Commissioner Evans.
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco.
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli.
Aye.
Mayor Tucci.
Aye.
Whereas 54-467 permits the governing body of each municipality to fix the interest rate to be charged for non-payment of taxes or assessments subject to any abatement or discount for the late payment of taxes provided by law. Whereas RS 54-4-67 has been amended to permit the fixing of said rate of 8% per annum on the first $1,500 of delinquency and 18% per annum on any amount in excess of $1,500. Now therefore be resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Nutley as follows. The tax collector is hereby authorized and directed to charge 8% per annum on all taxes becoming delinquent after the due date, subject to any abatement or discount for late payment of taxes provided by law, effective January 1, 2021. Quarterly tax payments made by cash, check, or money order shall have a 10-day grace period. Any payments not made in accordance with Section 2 of this resolution shall be charged interest from the due date as set forth in this resolution. Before I move it, I just think it's important for everyone to understand this particular resolution is governed by state statute. And we recognize that we are in the middle of the COVID crisis. I am very thankful and on behalf of the board for everyone who has stayed on top of their property taxes this past year. I want to be clear that as it relates to addressing COVID related issues, we will certainly take all of that into consideration before we finalize any charges related to this interest rate. So move.
Second.
Commissioner Kelly.
Aye.
Commissioner Evans.
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco.
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli.
Aye.
Mayor Tucci.
Aye.
Be resolved by the Board of Commissioners in the county, in the state of New Jersey, state of Nutley, Township of Nutley, in the state of New Jersey, that the treasurer be and she is hereby authorized to refund overpayment of property taxes in the amount of $618.58 for Block 4600, Lot 13. So move.
Second.
Commissioner Kelly.
Aye.
Commissioner Evans.
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco.
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli.
Aye.
Mayor Tucci.
Aye.
My next resolution is 7-21, which establishes a petty cash account in the Revenue and Finance Department in the amount of $650 that will be in the custody of the cashier and the purchasing agent. So move.
Second.
Commissioner Kelly.
Aye.
Commissioner Evans.
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco.
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli.
Aye.
Mayor Tucci.
Aye.
Be resolved by the Board of Commissioners in Township of Nutley, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, the treasurer be and she is hereby authorized to refund overpayment of tax charges in the amount of $712.81 for Block 8102, Lot 7. So move.
Second.
Commissioner Kelly.
Aye.
Commissioner Evans.
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco.
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli.
Aye.
Mayor Tucci.
Aye.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Petracco.
Yes, thank you. Whereas the Township of Nutley has a need to acquire specialized professional services as non-fair or open contract pursuant to provisions of NJSA 19-44A20-5, and whereas the Township of Nutley, through the Department of Parks and Public Property, has a need to acquire specialized and professional service for project coordination and construction management for the redesign of the fire department's first floor. And whereas anticipated term of the contract is for 12 months from the date of the award, and whereas Dasa Haynes Architect Group, 16 Portland Place, Montclair, New Jersey, has submitted a proposal indicating that they will provide such services for the sum not to exceed $6,200, whereas Dasa Haynes has completed and submitted a business entity disclosure certification which certifies that said corporation has not made any reportable contributions to a political or candidate committee in the Township of Nutley in the previous 1 year, and that the contract will prohibit Dasa Haynes from making any reportable contributions through the term of the contract. And whereas funds are available from capital ordinance account G-04-166-412 in the amount of $6,200 and have been certified by the Chief Financial Officer, and certification being attached to this resolution. Now, therefore, it be resolved that the Board of Commissioners in Township of Nutley, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, enter into a contract with Dasa and Haynes Architectural Group as described hereon. Be further resolved that the business disclosure entity certification and determination of value be placed on file with this resolution. Be further resolved that notice of the action shall be printed once in the Nutley Sun in accordance with the local public contract law. I move the resolution.
Second.
Commissioner Kelly.
Aye.
Commissioner Evans.
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco.
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli.
Aye.
Mayor Tucci.
Aye. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Commissioner Scarpelli.
Thank you, Mayor. Be it further resolved in accordance with provisions RS 4840-59 that the following transfers of 2020 appropriations reserved be and the same are hereby authorized and approved. From Department of Public Works, sewer and salary and wage, $50,000 to recycling disposal contracts, $50,000. Move the resolution.
Second.
Commissioner Kelly.
Aye.
Commissioner Evans.
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco.
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli.
Aye.
Mayor Tucci.
Aye.
Be resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Nutley, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, that Jarrett McCarthy, employee of the Department of Public Works, requires an unpaid leave of absence due to medical reasons effective December 9, 2020 to March 31st, 2021. I move the resolution.
Second.
Commissioner Kelly.
Aye.
Commissioner Evans.
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco.
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli.
Aye.
Mayor Tucci.
Aye.
That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner. Whereas Township of Nutley has a need for qualified professional planners to provide professional planning services for the preparation of a preliminary investigation study and report to determine whether the Diamond Springs Pool Club, which will be referred to as the study area, identified in Block 7400, Lots 1 and 13 on the official tax map of the Township of Nutley, or any portions thereof, qualify as an area in need of redevelopment pursuant to the local redevelopment and housing law, NJSA 48:12A-5. And whereas the Township of Nutley has a need to retain professional services of a licensed planner/architect to provide these services related to a blight study of the Diamond Springs Pool Club property in the Township of Nutley as a non-fair and open contract pursuant to the provisions of NJSA 19:44A20.5. And whereas the above professional services need to be rendered or performed by a person or persons authorized by law to practice a recognized profession whose practice is regulated by law within the meaning of NJSA 20A:11-1 as amended, and whereas the performance of said professional services requires knowledge of an advanced type in a field of learning acquired by a prolonged formal course of specialized study as distinguished from general academic instruction or apprenticeship training. And whereas the Board of Commissioners has determined that DMR Architects of 777 Terrace Avenue, Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey, is best suited to provide these services to the Township of Nutley pursuant to a non-fair and open process in accordance with NJSA 19:44A20.55. And whereas DMR Architects PC has completed and submitted a business entity disclosure certification, which certifies that they have not made any reportable disqualifying contributions to a political or candidate committee in the Township of Nutley in the previous 1 year that would violate NJSA 19:44A-20.5, and that the contract will prohibit them from making any reportable contributions through the term of the contract. And whereas the contract time will be of the time period November 1, 2020 through June 30th, 2021, for an amount not to exceed $25,000. The necessary funds are available from account number 0-01-226-200, and the amount not to exceed $25,000 have been certified by the Chief Financial Officer. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Township of Nutley in the County of Essex and State of New Jersey does hereby designate DMR Architects as the planner to conduct an investigation of the Diamond Springs Pool Club property identified as Block 7400, Lots 1 and 13 on the official tax map of the Township of Nutley in accordance with local public contracts law. Be it further resolved that the mayor and municipal clerk are hereby authorized to enter into a contract prepared by the municipal attorney to provide the aforementioned professional service for a period stated herein at an amount not to exceed $25,000. 2, the business entity disclosure certification, the entity disclosure of campaign contributions and determination of value shall be placed on file with this resolution. And 3, a copy of this resolution or a summary thereof shall be published within 10 days of its adoption or as otherwise required by law. I move the resolution.
Second.
Commissioner Kelly.
Aye.
Commissioner Evans.
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco.
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli.
Aye.
Mayor Tucci.
Aye. Be it further resolved in accordance with provisions of RS 48:4-59, the following transfers of 2020 appropriation reserves be and same are hereby authorized and approved. In the Department of Parks and Public Property,
from prosecutors' other expense in the amount of $1,000, and information services other expense in the amount of $6,000, for a total of $7,000, to the prosecutor's salary and wages in the amount of $1,000, and information services salary and wages in the amount of $6,000, totaling $7,000. I move the resolution.
Second.
Commissioner Kelly.
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli.
Aye.
Commissioner Evans.
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco.
Aye.
Mayor Tucci.
Aye. That concludes all of our business for this evening. I'd now like to open the meeting up to the public. Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mayor. All persons addressing the Board of Commissioners regarding community concerns should state their name and address for the record. Unless further time is granted by the board, each person shall limit their address to 5 minutes. All remarks to the board and its individual members must be addressed to the mayor. The mayor may defer citizens' comments to the appropriate member of the board.
Rory Moore, 462 Chestnut Street. Can you hear me, Mayor Tucci?
Yes, I can.
I could hardly hear. That's okay.
Now I can almost see you.
You can, you see? Concerning this contract for the pool, Diamond Spring, what interest does the township have in private property for the purpose of a redevelopment? Is there an intended sale that this would be preliminary to?
Mr. Moore, our understanding is that a portion of the property or all the property has either been sold or they've taken on, the original owner has taken on a partner, all right, and they're looking to develop that property. By trying to determine whether or not it's an area in need of redevelopment, there are certain tools that could be available to the owners in actually developing that, all right?
Well, don't you think it's appropriate that we wait till they decide what they're going to do with private property before we start to intervene with taxpayer dollars to see what we could do with this?
No, it's up to the developer and the owners to decide, if they are one and the same, to decide what it is they would like to do with that property, all right? Where we can assist, all right, and where we would have some say is in some of the tools that we could afford them in getting them to the, not only to this Board of Commissioners, but to that neighborhood and to our township.
Well, what are some of those tools? I mean, what the top of your head?
Right, there are financial tools that are available and other incentives that could become available to them.
So that the township would be providing that finance, apparently?
The township does not provide that. The local housing and redevelopment law provides various incentives for folks to actually develop, all right? It could be in the form of a payment in lieu of taxes, all right? Because typically a project has difficulty getting off the ground in the early years, and depending on what that ultimate development will be, all right, a delay or a scheduling of taxes could in fact be helpful, all right, in getting something developed there that would be acceptable.
Well, have the owners at least presented an initial proposal? Have they any ideas what they plan to do with it or would like to do with it?
There is no proposal. We did have a meeting with the owners, and they did put forth some ideas, but obviously they're waiting to see what the designation could be and what would be acceptable to the township.
And aren't those, my final question, aren't those the incentives that they would realize? Don't those incentives come from the state? They're not really would be coming from the municipality or the county.
That's correct. They do come from the state, but there are some legal requirements that need to be met, and there are some incentives that they can realize.
And then why aren't they paying for this rather than the taxpayers?
Because in order for it to be developed in a way that would be acceptable, all right, we need to know what kind of condition the property is in, and if it's eligible, all right, to be declared an area in need of redevelopment, then we can help them through this financing and these other incentives that are available through the state and the local housing law.
Mayor,
Yes.
this specific cost is reimbursable to the taxpayers once the determination is made.
Yes, good point, Commissioner. Commissioner Evans just reminded me that all of these costs are in fact reimbursable to the township.
But that's not in the contract.
That would not be in this contract. That would be in any developer agreement, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Happy New Year to you.
You too.
Someone else?
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
Commissioner Evans,
Hey.
Commissioner Petracco,
Aye.
Commissioner Scarpelli,
Aye.
Mayor Tucci.
Aye.
And the time is 7:29.
Thank you, everyone. Good night.